So I've seen a lot of people think that Fujimoto has done a complete 180 on Denji's character here, and while I can see where people are coming from, I think it's clear that Denji's actions in the scene are not only meant to act as a direct parallel to events from part 1, judging by the end of the chapter with the cake and Yoru's bang, but also to show that instead of blindly following whoever gives him affection or dominates him emotionally, Denji is doing all of this on his own free will. Not because he feels like he has to, but because he wants to. And sure, that does sound weird at first, but I promise you, there is a direct difference. Also, not for nothing, despite Yoru calling Denji her dog, and that he'll do whatever she asks for a small bit of affection, this relationship is vastly and definitely different than Denji's previous abusive relationship with the control devil Makima, especially on Yoru the war devil side. Because try as she might to pretend that she's in complete control and is some manipulative mastermind like her sister Makima, we have to remember she is not the control devil. She is the war devil. Yoru is reactionary. Yoru is impulsive. And whether she wants to admit it or not, the longer she stays in Asa's body, the more her mind begins to fluctuate between devil and human. We can truly see this transformation in Yoru based on how far along this quote-unquote turn Denji into a weapon plan has been derailed. I mean, to the point that her urgency of needing to defeat Chainsaw Man, dominate him, and turn him into a weapon has been postponed again for like the 5th, 6th, 7th time, due to some vague reasoning about Asa's mind being almost about to break if she witnesses any more senseless death. Which is a far cry from the War Devil in the beginning of the series that would have been more than happy to have a full and complete possession over a mentally submissive vessel. Yoru not only shows her hand here to the readers in displaying her care for Asa's well-being, but also, we already know that she's trying to hide her feelings from Denji behind an excuse of wanting to prolong his weapon transformation. While it is unclear completely if Yoru actually is able to turn Denji into a weapon, just based off of how far her powers have come and evolved at this point, as well as the fact that, she was literally able to destroy all of Tokyo using the Statue of Liberty, she might just be able to do it. We don't know what's possible at this point. But also, not for nothing, it does get brought up multiple times in this chapter as well. Yoru did technically win her fight with Pochita in the last couple of chapters, which should, for all intents and purposes, imply that she does have power over him and should be able to subjugate him as a weapon if she pleases. Again though, when Yoshida and Fumiko question her why she has not transformed him yet, she claims it's because Denji is of more use to her as a plaything than he is as some mindless weapon. It's more fun to play with him like a toy as if he is her dog, harkening back to part 1, but before she transforms him. But again, we all know that's full cap. She loves this fucking himbo, and there is no doubt about it at this point. Also, as far as Denji's regression and everything, I just think it's clear at this point that Denji's trauma has converted itself into some type of mommy kink or something. I mean, the man just loves dominant and very mean women. I don't blame him, honestly, but that doesn't mean he's being taken advantage of in this situation. Quite far from it, as long as, honestly, both parties in this relationship are consenting to the dynamic that's going on, which, based off of the fact that Yoru definitely has feelings for him, and judging on how quickly Denji shoves his hand into his mouth when Yoru asks him to, I think it's pretty clear both parties are pretty happy where they stand as of right now. Denji is his own man. If he wants to submit to the War Devil because she might jack him off again, then that is his own damn prerogative. That is his God-given right. We can't take that away from him. And you can also see Denji's growth in the scene with Yoshida when he attempts to emotionally manipulate Denji again into potentially sparing him and Fumiko, hoping that Denji would forgive them after everything that went on, and providing Denji with a gun saying, hey, look, you can kill us if you want. And you know what? He's lucky that there weren't any bullets in it. Because when it's revealed that Denji can kill the 2 public safety officers for all the harm they've done for him if he just becomes a weapon, without hesitation, Denji picks up that gun and just tries to blow a hole right through Yoshida's brain. Which, thank God, someone finally had the balls. Denji finally stepped up to do so. And in my opinion, it just shows that Denji was more than willing to say, fuck your whole giant bullshit deal. I'm gonna kill you right now, and that's gonna be the end of it. Which proves Denji has at least progressed somewhat at this point, right? Refusing to be lied to or tricked, as he would have earlier in the series. I mean, the fact that Yoshida even tries something like this is because he probably would have gotten away with it if this happened, 50, 100 chapters ago. And honestly, the truth is, this is how Yoshida, public safety in general, realistically, has always been. They never give Denji a choice. They don't give anybody a choice. It's all just the illusion of choice. And sure, again, well, you can excuse it because they're working overtime on their evilness due to the anticipation of the Death Devil. It's not really a secret that this organization known as public safety has just been a very domineering and shadowy group that lies behind the government of this country and just does terrible things. I mean, this was still the group of people that thought it was a good idea to take on the necessary evil of Makima. Their choices have been questionable since part 1. And Makima ended up going completely off the rails, becoming an uncontainable threat anyway. So it just proves that this war that's been going on between devils and humans has been foobar from the very beginning, and everything that they've been doing, it almost seems like it's just been pointless. I mean, if the world could barely contain the violence of beings like Makima or the Gun Devil, if a devil like Yoru can destroy almost all of Tokyo while simultaneously obliterating the Statue of Liberty, and Yoshida claims none of these devils might even be capable of standing on the same battlefield as the Death Devil, humanity, I mean the world itself, it sounds like it stands no chance of fighting back. This might be Fujimoto's chance to reset the entire world of Chainsaw Man and either end it, or we get Chainsaw Man Part 3 and it's like a JoJo's thing where the universe is completely reset. Because it seems like the Death Devil is inevitable, and not just inevitable, indomitable. But who knows, we've still got a couple chapters to go before that happens, it seems. But some quick things that I do want to mention about this chapter, specifically surrounding the Death Devil itself, is the direct mention that Yoshida says it would be descending to Earth. Whereas you would think with most primal fears and devils, they would be ascending to Earth from hell. While this choice of words could just be a coincidence, in my opinion, I don't really think it's out of left field to speculate that Yoshida is correct. And because the Death Devil is just this being that is so unique and unstoppable and a devil among devils, perhaps it truly does descend from the heavens as opposed to hell itself, taking the form of some kind of biblical angel as opposed to your classic devil. Also, the fact that in order to do her little grand theatrical reveal, Yoru dramatically untied her hair while she evilly laughed is just ridiculous. Someone get this girl out of here. Especially, it's just so ridiculous to us who have known for the longest fucking time. And it's hysterical to see Denji's reaction to finally learning that these two characters are one and the same. But also, it's funny to me because he just immediately is only concerned about who is the personality that jacked him off. And I also love that Yoru falls into a deep blush when Denji calls her scary, because to a devil, this was probably some of the highest level of compliment. To Yoru, it probably felt like her boyfriend might as well have just told her she's beautiful as fuck. It's why she's laughing. She completely agrees. Before feeling, now that she's been pumped up, she feels confident in herself and rests her foot on the speech bubble. Again, meanwhile, Denji's just happy he can push past all of the nonsense and finally get to what's important and what matters, his nut. Last but not least is the arrival of the strawberry cake at the end. Because despite the fact that Denji clearly ordered chocolate cake, and no one else asked for strawberry, this has to be a direct reference to Power's death at the hands of Makima right in front of Denji, which again, just further shows the theory of this being a part 1 correlation chapter. I mean, down to tossing the cake in Yoshida's face as Yoru prepares to finger bang him herself because Denji's gun is not working clearly. This would just, of course, be the second time someone would die in front of Denji with strawberry cake involved in the background, almost completing the cycle of part 1 and signaling that we truly are very close to the end game, or just very, very much, right on the cusp. Yoshida and Fumiko do claim that the Death Devil's arrival will be soon, which is why they are running out of time. But there's just so much left to unpack in this part 2 series. The Chainsaw Man Church, the Fire Devil, all of this stuff. Is Nayuta alive? It seems like she's really just dead. And not for nothing, we still have to go into the next phase of the Four Horsemen. Because if you think about it, Control has left their mark on the world. War has now left their mark on the world. If I'm, if things are all making sense, I think it's time for Famine to start making moves and become a big potential threat for everyone. Because, right now, she seems to be, if she's assumed to be stronger than Yoru, the largest threat in this room right now, if we assume Yoru has surpassed Pochita. And the thing that might trigger Famine is going to be the fact that Yoru was willing to waste food. Sure, she's a devil, that's her excuse, but Famine does not enjoy wasting food. Famine's whole thing is food. So, for someone that's laid low up until this point, and all of their allegiances staying hidden, now is as good a time as ever to be triggered and become a villain. Listen, I'm not exactly sure at all where their story is going, and honestly, I feel like for the last 20 or so chapters, I've said that at almost the end of every single one. But again, I am still loving everything that's going on. I know some people are dropping out. They think it's just a repeat cycle. Fujimoto has no idea what he's doing. But honestly, I think this has been peak. I think the last 20 or so chapters have been nothing but greatness. And now with all of the smaller players like the Chainsaw Man Church guys, Katana Man, the Weapon Devils, all the whatnot people all imprisoned, it's only heavy hitters left in the show now, baby. Because honestly, who knows what Fumiko's deal is and whatever unknown devil she's contracted to. But maybe, not for nothing, Fumiko might have the same secret contract that Kobeni did. Because just so everyone is aware, I want to make it very clear, I've been rooting for Kobeni to come back way more than Rize this part. And I know that's a controversial statement, but Kobeni's real best girl. Fuck Rize. That's just for me. But anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching this video all the way until the end. I sincerely appreciate it. Hit that like button if you enjoyed, and subscribe so you don't miss any future Chainsaw Man reviews. There's no break next week, or any other series you might read weekly. Check out the channel and see what you like. And as always, there is the main channel that you can check out some content for, or streams. Please get your fill, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, peace.